Hi friends, Kathy Weens here from Kathy Weens Coaching. Well, today I want to talk about gratitude. So in my coaching community, a community of amazing women, I have a gratitude challenge going. And each day I put out a new post, and in those posts there is a gratitude affirmation and an action step. And then with this challenge, I'm also putting in self-gratification. I think that's so important. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But so with the self-gratification part, there is an affirmation and an action step and a journal prompt. So I want to share with you today one of my day challenges that I have. Okay. Like I said, I'm Kathy from Kathy Weens Coaching, and I have a coaching business where I help empower women to move on with their life, especially women like me in the second half of life, to find their purpose and their passion, to figure out what is right with them, what is right with us. So often we're focused on what's wrong with us, but there are so many good things that we have. And so that's what I do in my coaching practice. I'll share a little bit more about that later too, but today let's get started talking about gratitude. All right, so I started this the 1st of November. Today is day 4, and so I'm going to share this gratitude challenge with you. So today, the gratitude affirmation is, I am grateful for the lessons I learned through challenges. So in life, we have a lot of different kinds of challenges. We might have some sort of a setback, or maybe we have a loss. Maybe there's some kind of trauma that we've experienced. That's a challenge for us. And there can also just be things that are positive challenges. Maybe we're starting a new project. Maybe we've moved to a new town or a new house. So all of these things, whether they're a little bit more difficult to deal with or they're a positive, happy thing, those can all be challenges. So how do we deal with those, and what are the lessons that we can learn from these challenges? So what maybe is a valuable lesson that you have learned from a challenge that you've gone through? So we can just pause and think about what that challenge is for you today. And also, how has this challenge helped you to become a stronger person? And these are trying to find the strengths and the positiveness, the goodness in the challenges that we go through. So that's another one. What strengths have I discovered as I work through this challenge? Because even though things can be hard, we can still recognize the strengths, our own personal strengths that we've used to get through this challenge. And also, what did you learn about yourself, and what did you learn about others as you've gone through this challenge? So that's another question you could ask yourself. And then to think about the things that I've learned, the strengths that I've used, how can those things help me in the future? And I think it's really important when we have new challenges to think about past things that we have overcome. How did we overcome that? And then to take those strengths, those lessons learned, and then to apply them to the new situation. So I think it's good to pause and to think about, what have I learned? What are the strengths that I've recognized? And how can I use that in the future? And then another important thing is, what connections did I make? Did I get support in this challenge? Who helped me? And connections are so important to our well-being. And so thinking about those, like, oh yeah, I know I can trust this person. They helped me through this challenge. And to be grateful for that person. So this is the gratitude challenge. So we want to be grateful for these things. Okay, so the next part, the action step of this daily challenge, this daily gratitude challenge, is to maybe reflect and just really think about that. Maybe write some things down. I've kind of been encouraging you to do that. But what were those specific things that you learned? To maybe write those down so they really are solidified in your mind. That helps us. We can just think about things, but if we write it down, then that has more meaning for us. And it maybe, can stick with us in a different way. So the next part of the challenge is self-gratitude. Now, that is not selfish. That is not navel-gazing. We need to appreciate ourselves and our strengths and our gifts. And one of the big reasons to do that is because, so many of us, we have that negative self-talk in our heads so often. And so if we can pause and think about the things that we appreciate about ourselves, that can counterbalance some of that negative, self-talk that's always happening. So with self-gratitude, the thing that I have for today, for challenge number 4, that's the day that we're on because it's November 4 today, but to be grateful for my creativity. So in this challenge, every day there's going to be something different to be grateful for, just kind of general gratitude and then self-gratitude. Today, the self-gratitude is about creativity. So to pause and think about, what am I grateful for in my own creativity? And then the action step that you can take with that is to spend 10 minutes doing one of those activities, one of the things that you are creative, that is a creative activity for you. And, you might say, oh, I'm not an artist. I'm not creative. Well, I imagine everyone is creative. I'll give you an example. My husband would probably say he's not a creative person. He's a math and science guy. He's a logical thinker. But you know what? When he is working on a project around the house, some kind of maintenance project, he comes up with some pretty creative solutions. And so we can be creative in many areas of our life. We can be creative as we're cooking, as we're, trying a new recipe. That can be a creative thing that we do. We can be creative when we're cleaning our house. Maybe we figure out a new way to do something. So whatever you're doing, I would venture that you have creativity and that you can do things in a creative way. So just stop and think about those things, and to think about what you enjoy doing creatively, and then do some of that today. And just some things about creativity and why it's important, no matter what kind of no matter what way you are creative. Here are some good benefits of being creative. So one, we gain a sense of accomplishment. So those, things like I talked about with my husband, when he figures out how to do a maintenance problem around the house, he feels good. That gives him a sense of accomplishment. He did that, and when it works, that gives us a sense of accomplishment. And when we're cooking a recipe, doesn't that give us a sense of accomplishment when we get it done and we can serve it to the people that are going to eat it, to our guests or our family? So that's one thing that creativity gives us. Also, oftentimes when we are creative, it's a very mindful activity. We can really get into the zone, get into the flow. We lose track of time. And that's a good thing for us. That really helps to calm us down, when we just lose track of time and we're in the flow of something. So when we're doing something creative, that's also another thing that happens. It's a good way to express ourselves, and also then just to pause and recognize, wow, I did that and it was successful, or if it wasn't, what can I learn from it? But just to pause and think about the creative thing that you have done. Creativity gives us a sense of play and curiosity, and those things are so important too. And then creativity also helps build our resilience and growth. Again, when we have done something, we step back and we look at it, and it's like, wow, I accomplished that. That helps build our resilience. Another thing that you might add in with these creative activities is, did someone else help you with that? So maybe it's a friend that you called in, a friend or family member. Maybe you looked at a YouTube video to figure out how to do something. I know I love to do creative art, therapeutic art. I watch a lot of YouTube videos on about those. So even though that's not a personal connection, it's still a connection with a person that's helping us figure this out. So that's something else to think about. Okay, so now I want to just share with you a little bit about the gratitude challenge that I have for November. And what I do is each day from via email, I send out an email to everyone that signed up for the challenge. And I put in an affirmation, a gratitude affirmation. Like today, the one was about learning through challenges. What have I learned through challenges? And then an action step for that. Because, we can think about things, but it's really good to take action too. So that's kind of the general gratitude aspect of it. There's an affirmation and an action step. And then I've included self-gratitude. And with that, there's another affirmation. Today it was on creativity. Then there's an action step. What are the creative things that you do? And so to spend some time doing that, that was the action step for today. And then I also include a journal prompt with that. And I didn't tell you the journal prompt for today. Let me just pull that up here. So the journal prompt for the self-gratitude on creativity is, what activities bring out your creativity, and how does being creative make you feel? So that's the journal prompt for today. And in the description below, I'm going to put the link to sign up for the gratitude challenge. And today is November 4 for me. You'll probably be watching this at a different time, but you can sign up anytime. And the other thing that I want to do is to create an ebook with all of these journal prompts. So even if it's after December, still you can click that link and get the free ebook, because we don't need to just do gratitude in November when it's Thanksgiving month. We can do gratitude throughout the year. So I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. And if you could like this and subscribe and share it, it just really helps this channel grow. I'm trying to get this information out just to help us in our daily lives, to help us recognize our strength and our resilience and our purpose. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.